these people are just, I said it at the Globes, they know nothing about the real world. We're meant to feel sorry for them, you know, where you realise that their life is 10 times better than the average person. They've got nothing to worry about. Pixies, Debaser, Debaser, Debaser. What a track, what a band. I'm sure you all know them. Still quite cult, amazing, influential, going for years, brilliant, and yet they've never done the Royal Variety performance. So you do the math. How are you? It's 1 year today since we lost lovely Ollie. Ollie Comic Strip wanted me to pay tribute to her and Rupert, who we also lost. Harry the cat here. All our family love The Office, Derek and Afterlife, thank you. Dad and my bro love your stand-up, whereas Mum and I love that you take questions and reply to animals. Right, has your fan base changed in the last year? How many are pets? I don't know. I don't know if it's changed. It sort of changes all the time because people discover you and they discover different things and they discover it out of order, if you know what I mean. So early days it was just The Office. Then it was extras. Then it was like maybe, you know, hosting the Golden Globes, which more people see at once, or being in something like Night in the Museum. You know, kids would recognise me from Night in the Museum or the Muppets, you know. So it depends. I remember there was when I first got on Facebook, most people came up to me and said, "Thanks for all the work you do for animals," which was really strange. They didn't mention The Office or Derek or, which is really nice. So I think it probably has changed, or at least the attitude. I think people feel that it was nice to connect. That's what I feel anyway. I feel that it's not necessarily changed, but it's nice to connect with fans. Not literally. I mean, I know you're miles away, and I don't want to get close enough to smell you. But as much as you can connect over the internet, being beamed into space and down to Michigan or whatever, I feel that I feel like I have more of a normal connection with people, which is nice and rare. As I said, you won't get George Clooney doing this. You will not get Brad Pitt. You will not get Sir Bradley Pitt doing in a drain. Not for. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I've lost all dignity for you guys, and I'm happy with that. Scarlett, the lovely rescue dog, rescued from a laboratory. I'm still trying to end, obviously, animal testing. Good news in the paper this week that they found a cure for cancer using computer modelling, not testing on animals at all. Testing on animals doesn't work. I've said it before, 93% of all tests that work on animals then fail and are dangerous in humans. It's a con. It's a big money-making con, and people feel relaxed. They go test animals. That doesn't make a difference, right? Computer modelling works better, but it's cheaper, which is a bad thing because obviously people sell the beagles for $2,000 or whatever. So, you know, with medicine, I can see people go, "Oh, but it might cure it." It doesn't, but I can see that. With cosmetics, no brainer. Only shop for things that aren't tested on animals. Scarlett, us dogs have around 300 million smell receptors in comparison with humans, who have about 6 million. Brilliant. What's that? Wow, that's 50 times. That's incredible. We can even smell detect cancer, I know, to help our humans. Think of that. think how animals help us and then we treat them like we do. Are there any of your senses you'd like to magnify as much as our noses? Yeah, it wouldn't be smell because you can't turn that off. Maybe hearing, but I don't need it. I'm pretty good at eyesight. I think. I think I'd be able to because at least you can close your eyes. With smell, with hearing, you can stick earplugs in, listen to something else. You shut your eyes. With smell, I was on a plane once, and this bloke had his shoes off, and his feet stank, and you can't get away from it. And what could he do? I can't go, mate. You stink. Get your feet down the bog. You filthy. What can you do? So I wouldn't want to have. I wouldn't want to have super senses that I couldn't turn off. But I think it would be sight. I think. Yeah, it'd be great, wouldn't it? Was it Steve Austin who had one bionic eye? That'd be like that. What's that noise? It's Ricky looking. All right. Why does it make that noise? I don't know. It just does. It makes it when he's looking. Yeah, I'd have that super sight. Then I could read your comments. X-ray vision, no. Have you seen Ray Milland in The Man with X-ray Eyes? Drives him mental. Starts off all fun and games, then it drives him mental because he can't sleep because of X-rays in his face. That's where I get a lot of my science from. Films and the $6 Million Man. Everyone over 40 will be vaccinated. Luckily, most of my cast and crew are over 40. That's all right. All the extras have been vaccinated. No, Danbury be the oldest town in the world. If anyone coughs, I'll be like Tom Cruise. I'll go mental.
We are the gold standard. They're back there in Hollywood making movies right now because of us. Because they believe in us and what we're doing. I'm on the phone with every studio at night. Insurance companies. Producers. And they're looking at us and using us to make their movies. We are creating thousands of jobs, you I don't ever want to see it again. Ever.
Oh dear. Bella, hey Ricky. Winning awards must be pretty cool. I'm over it. You know, I've got enough. Also, all the things I've said, I think there's a conspiracy. I don't think there's any award body that wants me to win an award now and get up there and say something. Although, this year's been really good. They've been flooding in, so it is nice. But have you ever been given a plate to lick clean after it had gravy on it? I used to use bread, Bella. When I used to have like roast dinner and the gravy, I used to do it with everything though. Like if you had a lovely yummy sort of pasta, all the sauce that would be left at the end, I'd get a bit of bread, and by a bit of bread I mean half a loaf. And yeah, I mean I think it's mainly bread I like, but yeah, I used to love mopping up my gravy with bread. I used to do it with everything. I used to have what was that I used to? Oh, I used to have evaporated milk. Does that exist anymore? When I was a kid, my mum would give me a bowl of milk like a fucking cat with a little slice of bread, and I used to. That's why I love animals. I was brought up like one. I remember that. I used to love it. Bit of bread and a bowl of evaporated milk. Me, what a weird fucking childhood. Oh, fucking hell. What is evaporated milk? You don't see it anymore. It used to be in a tin. Do you have it? Carnation, that was it. Yeah, Carnation. Yeah. Oh God, I talk about my childhood like it was the war. You know what I mean? It seems like such a bygone era. Well, it is, isn't it? I'm old. Um, it didn't do me any harm, did it? What was the question? Yes, I did. I loved um, scooping up juices with bread, gravy. Yeah. Now, obviously, vegan stuff. Um, Soup. Every day I have a little lentil soup with a bit of bread. That's the best bit. Then you drink the soup. All the bread swells up. I'm not a nutritionist. Claire, would you rather develop A, hiccups that you can't get rid of, no matter what you try? Oh, that's just already stressing me out. B, a wart on your nose that keeps growing and can't be removed. The inability to control yourself from shouting obscenities at anyone who annoys you. Well, I always have that problem. I already have a problem with that. Oh, but I can't. Oh, I've got hiccups now, but I can't control it. I'd have to shout like the bloke with it. So on the plane, as soon as I went like that, took his shoe off. Go and clean your feet, you filthy. So I'd say it, and there'd be a fight, wouldn't there? Yeah, it can't be that one. Wart on your nose that keeps growing. What do you mean keeps growing? It's just getting like just until a fucking Rudolph. What do you mean? That's shit, isn't it? That's not too bad. Hiccups. It can't be hiccups. It can't be hiccups. And it's got to be the wart. And I just go, it's a wart. Get over it. Oh god, I look like fucking witchy poo. Your nose keeps growing anyway as you get older, so mine will just be pointed or a little bob. It's got to be the. It can't be hiccups because I go mental and I can't sleep. It drives me mental. I can't shout what I'm thinking because all the time I'm thinking I'm angry at people all the time. So I just be shouting. You look like a f***ing mate. So no, it can't be that one. It's got to be the war. Who cares? Joey, would you rather think of George Clooney and Brad Pitt doing this shit? Never happen. Joey, would you rather have spontaneous, uncontrollable shouting of your own name? So I just walk along shouting Ricky Gervais. Or approach strangers at random and tell them I'm the guy from The Office. Oh, God. Well, the first one happened to me once. I was walking home from my office when I lived in Bloomsbury, and there was a couple of teenagers on bikes. They're like 13, and they stopped as I was crossing the road. They went, "Hey, office man, innit?" I went, "Yeah, hi," and I kept walking. And they went, "What's your name?" And by this time, I'd got across the other side of the road. Right? And they went, "What's your name?" And I had to shout, "Ricky Gervais." So anyone passing just sees me shouting at two kids on a bike, Ricky Gervais. Why don't I just go, "Shut up, mate, I'm not shouting." Fucking... Oh, so that wasn't so bad. I'm the guy from The Office. Oh, for fuck's sake. Joey, you always have the worst question. I just shout Ricky Gervais because then people think, oh, he can't help it. He's got a condition. He shouts his own name, and it'd be like a novelty. I just walk along the street, and they go, "Look, it's Ricky Gervais," and I shout, "Ricky Gervais." They go, "See." I'd have to live in a weird little village where everyone knew me, so it just didn't bother them. Joey, it's that one. Just me shouting. Now, I've been asked to do those things. Like Ant and Dec have an earpiece, and they do it with Richard Madeley, where you have to say stupid things. And Ellen even asked me to do one where I had to go in in a McDonald's or something and say, "Do I get it? Do you know who I am?" I couldn't do it. I said, "I can't do it. I can't do it for that 1 minute." Hidden camera stuff. That 1 minute they think, "Fuck me, who's this?" I haven't got the nerve. I couldn't do it. So that would be tough. Cheers, Joey, you idiot. Julia, what's the weirdest thing you've heard about in nature? I've just watched A Perfect Planet where male fig wasps start to mate with their unhatched sisters. Oh, well, I'm from the West Country, so that is. To reach them, they use a telescopic that's twice their body length. That is a good fact, isn't it? So they mate with they're an egg. They're mating with an egg. They're unhatched sisters. So they're injecting through an egg into. Now that is weird, isn't it? That is weird. Not to a wasp. It's normal to a wasp. If you told a wasp how we do it, they go, "You do what?" They go, "That's weird. Why do you wait that long?" What's the weird? Oh, I know. This is fascinating. Well, you'll be the judge of that. There's a parasite. I think it's like a parasitic worm that starts its life cycle in a stickleback, a fish, right? But it has to complete its life cycle in a warm-blooded animal. So it has to get into a warm-blooded animal. And so this is what it does. So the stickleback has got this little parasite. And the stickleback usually, if it sees a heron, the shadow, the shape of a heron, it flees the shadow. It knows, right? Instinctive, right? This parasite, at a certain point in its life cycle, I don't know how it does it. I assume sort of chemical or biological, pheromone or something. I don't know how it does it. But it changes the stickleback's behaviour. So when the stickleback sees a heron, it's not scared of the shadow. So it doesn't flee. So the heron eats it and the parasite gets into a warm-blooded animal. That is like magic, isn't it? That is like some sort of weird spell, and it's all explainable. Even though that sounds like the craziest way to do something, it just did it without will, through natural selection. It's fucking. I mean, every fact is remarkable. It's just what we're used to. So you break down how a fucking flower pollinates itself. It's off the charts, mental, but we're used to it. So there's no fact really stranger than any other fact, because it's we're around because it works. If you're around, it's because it works. But that is amazing, isn't it? Because you think of the parasite somehow in the go, don't run away. Stick away. What? Don't run away. Okay. But no, it's just pure physics and chemistry and biology. That's all everything is, really. Even though it feels magical, it's just energy, just electricity pinging around, doing, and nothing we can do about it. I use my chemistry and biology to answer questions from pets. That's my raison d'etre. Wow, good question. Right, Leopold and Loveday. As you know, we invented the catnap. Yeah, you're welcome. I have one every day. I'm going to miss that when I'm filming. A little nap at 1 o'clock. Oh, maybe I could build it in to the just make the cast and crew. Right, everyone snooze. 40 minutes. As you know, we invented the catnap. After your nap, are you refreshed or do you just crave more sleep? Sometimes you wake up more tired, you want to carry on. I think there's an optimum. I think if you can fall asleep and wake up in like 25 minutes, that'll be perfect. But then sometimes you get that, like that winter sleep when the fire's on and you get that winter sleep and you go, oh, yeah, it's an hour and a half. That's like half a day to me. No, I look forward to it. I get up now. I can even get up a little bit earlier thinking I can have a nap in 5 hours. So, yeah, I'm going to miss that. It's great, isn't it, a nap? It's a real privilege, isn't it, to have a little nap. Titch, if GMB asked you to present the news now, would you? I think you'd be a great anchorman. I'd be terrible. I'd be terrible. I'd be terrible in every way. I'd be terrible in ways that contradicted the other ways I was terrible. Like too nice or too nasty or too stupid. I couldn't do it. I'd also be bored. I'd start reading the news and go, fuck that, who cares? I think that's most of it as well. I see these things that are in the news all the time, like things that blow up. You know, couldn't give a. It makes me angry that people care about celebrity shit. Is the worst. I don't care. I don't care who said what about who. I don't care who you're going out with. I don't care who you split up with. I don't care. I don't care what your fucking family think of you or what you think. Just fucking do it. Just shut up. Shut the fuck up. Then that's what I'd be like on GMB Titch. So I think that there's your answer. That's how good I'd be. If they want that, I'm your fucking man. If they want that, I'll do it for a week. People have got real lives. People have got real lives. These people are just, I said it at the Globes, they know nothing about the real world. We're meant to feel sorry for them, you know, where you realise that their life is 10 times better than the average person. They've got nothing to worry about. Whoever it is, you know, and people can have a bad day if you're a millionaire or a billionaire or whatever, but why do a press release about it? Why do people do a press release about the... anyway, you know what I think about that. Go online and talk to cats and dogs. Mum and Sherlock. You wake up alone and realise you're an old woman with a walker. You think it's a nightmare, but it's not. Don't make it worse. Trying to scare me. Like, it really is. I've turned into an old woman with a walker. Right? Classic. There's a note on the table. It says, if you can convince someone that you are you, you'll be yourself again. What do you say to do or sound convincing? Well, so basically it's got to be Jane, because I'd have the biggest well of things that only we knew about, wouldn't I? Because anything that anyone else knows about me, probably everyone knows about it. They'd go, oh, you could have read that, that's online. Or, how do I know? I don't know you well enough. Whereas Jane would know what was true, yeah, that'd be tough, wouldn't it? Could I just go, remember that thing we watched last night? And she'd be going, what are you doing in my house? You're an old lady. I'd go, no, listen, I'm not an old lady. Do you remember what I said to you when we were watching that Dutch drama last night? She'd go, what? I go, just think. Oh, that would be horrible, wouldn't it? That would be horrible. Good question, that. That's funny, that. That's a really good question. Yeah. I don't know what I'd say. I think that'd be the best thing, wouldn't it? To choose something that had to be us, like recently, that we remember. But then you think, well, you know, an old lady was spying on us. Where's Ricky? I'm Ricky. Oh, it'd be horrible. Right. Last question. That was a complete load of bollocks, wasn't it? Grumble Stiltskin. Good name. Afternoon, Ricky. Despite your many accomplishments, is there anything you still wish you had achieved? Oh, loads. But I mean, maybe I haven't even thought of them yet. I just sort of go along with what I'm doing and sort of, you know, do new things. And I'd love, I don't know. Well, I'd like to go out on a high with Afterlife. I'd like that to be the most watched British comedy again. I mean, I don't know why I stopped there. I'd like it to be the most watched program in the world. You know, there's no ceiling to it. You know, I want people to really like it. I can't wait to get back to gigging. I can't wait to finish Supernature and start the next one. So I just want to keep. I want to be able to keep doing exactly what I want. If you know what I mean. That's the aim. Whatever happens, you want to be able to keep doing your passion uncompromised and it working, and that's more important than anything. If to do my own thing, it made because everything was changed and it made half the money or a tenth the money or tenth the viewers, but it was still exactly what I do. I'd still choose that over just trying to be big. But once you've done something you're proud of, you want as many people to watch it. So I want to carry on doing this and being at some level successful. That's always nice that people watch things. That's what success is. That people watch your thing and you got paid for it and you like it. And an animal sanctuary. I still think it sounds like a kid's pipe dream, but I still think that waking up in a castle surrounded by rescue animals with land. I'd wear a cape. I would wear a cape. I'd ride around on a horse if he wanted me to. I'd give him the choice. I go, do you want it? He goes, yeah, go on, hop on. They'd equal rights, me and the animals. And that would be great. And if I got bored, I could always do this. I'd go, hi gang, it's me, I'm Ricky, I'm on a horse. Say hello. Right, see you later. Thank you. Check out All Dogs Matter, new t-shirt. Watch Life on the Road. Hey Siri, play Life on the Road by David Brent. Alexa, play Life on the Road by David Brent. See you later. Tatty bye everyone. Be nice to animals. Tatty bye.
The achievements of Keir Starmer, as you can see, very few.
See? This is educational.
This school is in lockdown. This school is in lockdown. This school is in lockdown. This school is in lockdown.
It might appear that we're raising concerns, raising children's fears, but in actual fact, they're quite calm doing it now. They understand the importance of doing it, and it doesn't worry them.
This school is in lockdown. This school is in lockdown. This school is in lockdown. This school is in lockdown.
You need to protect yourself in case anything's outside, if danger is outside.
And even if they could get into the classroom, they might not even be able to see us.
War-fighting readiness. Every citizen of this country has a role to play.
War-fighting readiness. Every citizen has a role to play. Those are fighting words, Starmer, trying to sound like a statesman and rally us all together, when really we all know you're just an odious, impotent little man who is a traitor to this country. Not one of those words, though, was about the invasion of a battalion of men from cultures that despise us coming across the British Channel and invading us. Not one of those words was about him. All about a war in Russia that he is trying to provoke. He was talking about billions to be sent on submarines and missiles and more weapons, none of which are going to be used to protect our borders, all of which are to be used to fight elsewhere. He thinks that we would get together and back him and support his wars. He's out of his mind. The British people have been double-crossed by him, the pensioners, the farmers, disabled people, working people. He doesn't even know what they are, business owners. Every single British citizen has been betrayed by this traitor, and he thinks we're going to stand behind him as he does this when we aren't even allowed to talk about securing our borders effectively. The truth is, I don't think anyone for a minute stands behind Starmer. I don't think anyone for a minute believes the lies that come out of his mouth. I don't believe for a second anyone is going to sign up to fight for him. And if they do, they're completely insane and they deserve what they're getting. But we're not even allowed to fight for our own country right now. And it's all by design. He would rather lock us up for speaking about things than actual real criminals. We have a problem with feral, homegrown youths in this country. A police officer, Castle, fired because he didn't respect a 15-year-old with a knife enough when he arrested him. We had 2 feral youths put fireworks into an elderly man's home, killing him. They got 3 years and 6 years. That was it. A joke punishment when Lucy Connolly's been locked up for 31 months and we have Wayne O'Rourke locked up for 3 years. Again, just yesterday, another paedophile walked free. We have 2 men who drove the boats over, Afghan men whose boats ended up capsizing and people were killed. They got 3 months. 3 months. Keir Starmer says he's going to smash the gangs. He has no intention of it. And you know what? This is a video of him actually attempting to smash the gangs.
What a f***ing loser.
One of the most interesting aspects of this case, as far as I'm concerned, has been to watch and observe 2 people with courage fighting a case, and to see that even with limited resources, even unable to bring all the evidence you want to court, you can win significant victories through a belief in what you're saying, a belief in free speech, and the courage to continually put your case.
You cunt. Oh dear. Well.
Will you visit London during the state visit?
I will. I'm not a fan of your mayor.
Why not?
I think he's done a terrible job, the mayor of London. But a nasty person. I think he's done. I think
he's a friend of mine, right?
No, I think he's done a terrible job. But I would certainly visit London. Yeah.
I've been feeling down. What's the best way to move towards the future and forget the arseholes? Well, that's it, isn't it? That's exactly. You've answered your own question there. We move on. I mean, I don't really have a sort of. When you've got no friends, you don't have to deal. No, I have always been very selective. I've never sort of befriended people for the sake of it, because I was like, I'd rather be lonely than a friend with a twat or an arsehole And I know there's lots of articles like that, but I don't really deal with them. I haven't had to deal with them. I've always tried to do my own thing. I've always owned my own labour. I've worked in jobs when the people I didn't like, but you just don't get sucked in. I can't be bothered. I just can't, and I just think, and if you've been unlucky and you've known some, but I mean the best way is to just trust loved ones, and a few friends and family. Then you can't go wrong. But I think people get caught out when they're worried. They're worried about being on their own, so they'd rather be in a room full of fucking twats than at home watching telly by themselves. And there's no competition. I don't know if that's answered your question or not. I just went on a rant, really. Oh dear. Just do your own thing. Easy said than done, isn't it?
Thank you so
Might be some kind of question, Dave.
Straight down. And what we will build on.
Starmer, a pledge is not an indication. A pledge is a word, is your word. It's a pledge, because you're hiding behind the process.
No, the Labour Party
Why
said...
don't you do what the other candidates do and tell... Don't Labour members have a right, as they decide whether to vote for you or not, they want to know where your money's coming from?
I've been asked that many times. I've said it's coming from trade unions, from crowdfunding, from individual donations.
Who's your biggest donor?
It's coming from those three. One of my biggest donors was put up on the website, I think, yesterday.
Right, that's one of the lawyer.
Yes.
That's the lawyer.
You have been given the opportunity to visit one place where the walls can talk. Interesting. Where would you go and what would you hope to find out? So, I know what you mean. So, the walls have got all the secrets of all the things that have ever happened there. Is that what you mean? Yeah. Well, I think most people think of the White House or 10 Downing Street or the Vatican, which would be... I'm not really interested in politics and when people plan to do things because they're sort of documented. And I know there's sort of secrets and stuff, but I'm more interested in like sort of scientific discovery and things like that, really. Like, I don't know, Isaac Newton's laboratory. What was he doing? What was he... I assume the walls can know what they were thinking as well. Like, it's not just a wall, and they just see it, and he just goes, yeah, and what? I don't know what he was doing. I assume these walls are intelligent, they took it all in. They remembered, they can tell me everything. Probably something like that, like Einstein's study, like what? Sure, he was a genius. He did relativity, but oh God. Oh, pure shite, pure bollocks. Thanks, Joey, for your question. Nice cat asked a nice question like that. It's Einstein.
Keir Starmer, Jeremy Corbyn led Labour to a disastrous defeat, the worst for 85 years. Yet you won't utter a word of criticism against him. Why can't you be honest and tell us what you really think of how he led the Labour Party?
Well, it was a devastating defeat. You're absolutely right about that. The worst for a very long time.
85 years.
We've actually lost 4 in a row, and therefore, whilst we're analysing why we lost that election, we need to bear in mind we've lost 4 in a row.
But this is the one you really lost.
Oh, no, we really did. And I went out with 44 campaigning teams, and that discussion was there in every team, in every constituency.
So why not a word of criticism of the man who led you to that defeat?
Well, the things that came up on the doors of 44 constituencies were, number one, the leadership, absolutely. Secondly, the Brexit position, that came up differently in different areas. What was said in the Midlands was different to what was said in Scotland. The overload of the manifesto, people felt there was too much in it. And I'm sad to say, in a number of areas, anti-Semitism came up. So the leadership did come up.
Number one, you say? But you won't criticise it.
Well, it's not I won't criticise him. Jeremy...
Well, you haven't.
Well, Jeremy is stepping down. We're now asking the question who should be the next leader of the Labour Party, and I'm trying to answer that question. And that requires us to define what the task is, which is huge, a massive challenge.
Which we're going to talk about.
And to ask the members, put myself before the members, to win that competition.
Charlie Faulkner, fellow Labour lawyer. He's known you for years.
I know Charlie very well, yeah.
Yeah, he says, and he knows you very well, and he says the truth is you were, quote, appalled by the awfulness of the Corbyn leadership. Is he right?
Well, look, I was in the shadow cabinet and I challenged in the shadow cabinet where I thought I should challenge. I don't speak outside the shadow cabinet.
Were you appalled by the awfulness of Mr. Corbyn?
We obviously got it very wrong in that general election. Jeremy has stepped down, and we're now looking for the next leader of the Labour Party.
Well, let me tell you what a lot of people, because you're reluctant to say what Charlie Faulkner thinks you think, and that is you're reluctant because a large part of the Labour membership still worships Jeremy Corbyn. You're frightened to say anything critical because it will cost you votes in this election. That's the real truth. It's a calculation.
It's not the truth. I served Jeremy for 3.5 years in his shadow cabinet. I worked well with him. He actually led us through some really difficult times. I had disputes with Jeremy, things I didn't agree with him on, and we either had it out around the shadow cabinet table, or on occasion I went to his constituency office and we had a discussion there. So I know what I agreed with Jeremy, but the question now is not what's the criticism of Jeremy, it's who's the best leader to take us from where we are now to where we need to go. And I've been running a very... Now, to just answer your point, I've been running a very positive campaign, actually, not just not criticising Jeremy, but not criticising the other candidates, because I profoundly believe that if our party can't pull together and unify, then we're going to carry on losing. And therefore, what I want is to unify the party so that we can be in a position to move forward.
And we'll look
I
at
don't
the
think sort of
unity
thrashing around and blaming X, Y, and Z.
But if you have nothing bad to say about, and I would suggest to you, you cannot plan the future without understanding the past. And if you have nothing bad to say about Mr. Corbyn's leadership now, why did you take part in the attempt to topple him as leader in 2016?
Well, in the immediate aftermath of the referendum, I thought we needed a change, and I set out my reasons for it. We then had a leadership election. Jeremy won it convincingly. I accepted the members had put him in as leader, and I then served him for the next 3.5 years.
You said it was simply untenable to suggest that we can offer an effective opposition without a change of leader. Untenable.
But we then went through a process, agonising process over the summer of 2016. Jeremy won convincingly, and I took the decision that in those circumstances, the right thing to do was to serve in the shadow cabinet, particularly on a brief such as the Brexit brief, which was so important. I'm not, I think that was the right thing to do. I then...
Well, maybe you were right, because it did turn out to be untenable. You got thumped in the election with Mr. Corbyn.
You are a government agent for MI6, transmitting subliminal messages on your shows to the people of the world. The message is your choice. What message do you send out? So I can change the world without them knowing by just doing these. I've been sending out subliminal things to people who go, oh, maybe I'll become vegan. Well, things like that, right? That's a good one, obviously. Stopping animal cruelty. What are the big ones? Protecting free speech. Secularism for the world. Fairness. And equality. And that's supported by free speech. And vice versa. And animal cruelty. They're the main three for me, aren't they? If I could stop animal cruelty, I'd sort of... But then there's another injustice that's equal if you can't have free speech. It all comes from that, doesn't it? I mean, if I could make the world secular, I think all the problems would be solved, really. People would they learn truth and had the right to say it, and fucking hell, you're a dog, Gunnar. Why are you asking me questions like that? I haven't had time to think about it. I've been given the greatest opportunity of mankind, and I don't know, that everyone Everyone has to take a picture of themselves and send it to the news and go, this is the picture I want when I die. That's my message to the world. I think this has been particularly bollocks. I think it's been probably one of the worst ones ever, which I'm very proud of. Because I didn't think I could go lower. And that was like a challenge to me. I thought, Rick, you've hit rock bottom here. You can't get this worse. And I thought, hold my pint. And I think I've proved there's always a little bit lower to go with quality.
But the reason I ask you that is that many suspect in the Labour Party that you are the Neil Kinnock of this leadership contest, that you're running from the left on a kind of broadly Corbynista ticket, but if you win, you'll move to the right. Are they wrong?
Andrew, I am very focused on what are the challenges now in 2020, after the defeats we've been through. How do we meet those challenges and prepare a manifesto probably for 2024 that speaks to the 2020s and the 2030s? And therefore, I'm not trying to be a past Labour leader. I want to be the next Labour leader.
But 80% of Labour Party members in a poll think that you would move the party towards the centre.
Well, I've seen that poll. I have set out my case. This is how we conduct ourselves in our party, week after week, hustings after hustings in front of our members.
You're not getting your message through if they think you would move to the centre.
I am making my pitch to the members and they will make their minds up over the next few weeks who they want to lead the Labour Party.
Why haven't you declared all the major donors who are funding your leadership campaign?
Well, at the beginning of the campaign, the Labour Party set out the rules that we should all comply with, and they briefed us on it. And they involve doing the necessary checks on any donations, and then passing it to the parliamentary authorities so that they can be published. And I'm following those rules.
But that's process.
That's not process, that's the rules.
You're following the process, but there's a bigger principle at stake, that Labour Party members who are being asked to vote for you should know who's bankrolling your campaign.
That is why the Labour Party set up those rules.
But you won't tell us.
The Labour Party rules say, carry out the checks, which we have to carry out, and I've got a compliance team doing that. Once you're satisfied the checks are carried out and the donations are proper in order, they go to the parliamentary authorities who put them on the parliamentary website so that everybody can see them. I've been following that procedure. That is exactly the parliamentary rules.
But the other candidates in this contest have published who is bankrolling their campaign. You seem to be hiding behind this process. Why won't you simply tell us tonight who are your 5 biggest donors?
Andrew, how can you say I'm hiding behind a process when it's the Labour Party process?
Because you're hiding behind the process.
No, the Labour Party
Why don't you do what the other candidates do and tell... Don't Labour members have a right, as they decide whether to vote for you or not, they want to know where your money's coming from?
I've been asked that many times. I've said it's coming from trade unions, from crowdfunding, from individual donations.
Who's your biggest donor?
It's coming from those 3. One of my biggest donors was put up on the website, I think, yesterday.
Right, that's one of the lawyer.
Yes.
That's the law. But who are your 5 biggest donors?
Well,
you haven't announced. You've only announced about £125,000 worth of donations. This campaign costs a lot more than that. Doesn't transparency just demand? I mean, it's causing you a problem. Len McCluskey, the union leader, he said that you are having secret financiers sitting in the shadows. And you laugh. I understand that. You could solve that tonight by saying, when I leave here, everybody who's bankrolled my campaign, I will make public.
Well, of course, Andrew.
But you're not going to do that.
Andrew, please hear me out. I've got a compliance team in place who are checking that every donation is in accordance with the rules. Once they've done that, they pass it to the parliamentary authorities for them to publish it. So 2 lots have gone up. Another lot is again with the parliamentary authorities as of today. I'm following the rules so that everything can be published.
So just to be clear, who's giving you £100,000?
This line of attack on me that I'm following the rules, which the Labour Party at the beginning of the exercise said, right, how was...
Okay, who's giving you more than 100,000?
The Labour Party at the beginning of the exercise said, these are the rules as to what you've got to check.
Yeah. Who's giving you more than £100,000?
These are the rules as to publication. Nobody's given me more than 100,000. That biggest donation went up yesterday or the day before.
And how much is that?
Was it 100,000?
100,000?
Yes.
So that's your biggest?
Yes.
All right.
And what we will build on...
Starmer, a pledge is not an indication A pledge is a word, is your word. It's a pledge.
I hope you enjoyed that. Alexa, play David Brent, Life on the Road.
But no, she's a special person. She's got great common sense, great spirit. She loves our country, and she loves the people in this room. Tulsi Gabbard.
David Brent is not Trumpian, per se. Like, he has some qualities that people could see, like, read into it and say...
He is like Trump, but the big difference is that Trump's a winner. Right. You know, Trump gets his own way, and David Brent doesn't. Because deep down, David Brent is sort of a nice guy who just wants to be one of the gang. He doesn't have to be the best, he just wants to be in the ballpark. Do you know what I mean? He wants to be on the team.
Yeah. People often say to me, they say, "Oi, Brent, you know, you're a philosopher. You're a leader of men. You're a great comedic mind. But is there anything you won't joke about?" And I always say, yes, they're handicapped. So I will not laugh at them or with them.
It's a very strange example. I mean, it's not an example because there's never been anything quite like it, but Trump has more in common with David Brent than he has JFK. You know, he's a man who wants to be loved, who wants to be famous. You know, he was the host of The Apprentice. Yeah. You know, and he's clearly more ruthless than David Brent. And I think that's the difference. It's just harder. It's harder to have sympathy with him, I think.
And today I'm honored to officially welcome another true American patriot, a 17-year veteran of the Hawaii Army National Guard, a 4-term Democrat congresswoman, very, very popular, the former vice chair of the National Democratic Party and a 2020 Democrat candidate for the United States presidency. You know, she was a very good candidate. Every time she ran, she was good. She did well. She decided to leave. She couldn't take it anymore, but she is very special. And I didn't know this, but she was a lieutenant colonel. That's not bad. Lieutenant colonel. Not bad. I didn't know that. You know, I just found out. I said, put it down. You got to put that down. That's bigger. That's better than all the other stuff I read. But no, she's a special person. She's got great common sense, great spirit. She loves our country, and she loves the people in this room. Tulsi Gabbard. Okay, Tulsi, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. Aloha. I know we got Hawaii in the house here. There we go. It is a privilege to be here with all of you, my brothers and sisters in uniform, especially on this day of all days. I had the privilege of joining President Trump this morning at Arlington Cemetery, where he joined 2 Gold Star families and loved ones of Staff Sergeant Hoover and Sergeant G, both of whom were 2 of the 13 killed in the Abbey Gate attack 3 years ago today in Kabul. And I can tell you, as we were there, as he laid a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier, joining these Marines' loved ones, I felt the sorrow that he shared with them in their loss. I felt and saw his sincere appreciation for these servicemen and women who paid the ultimate price and their loved ones who continue to grieve to this day. This is personal for me, as I know it is for so many of you here. This is real. It's not just words. I first deployed to Iraq in 2005 with the Hawaii Army National Guard as a member of Charlie Med. As those of you who were deployed during that time know, it was the height of the war, and sadly, we took many casualties. And every day we were confronted with that high human cost of war and that sadness as we boarded the plane when we left, that we were leaving some of our brothers and sisters behind, only to lose others when we got home to suicide. So I mean what I say when I share with you that I know that President Trump understands the grave responsibility that a president and commander-in-chief bears for every single one of our lives. Whether you're a soldier, you're an airman, a Marine, sailor, or a coastie, he keeps us in his heart in the decisions that he makes. We saw this through his first term in the presidency, when he not only didn't start any new wars, he took action to de-escalate and prevent wars. He exercised the courage that we expect from our commander-in-chief in exhausting all measures of diplomacy, having the courage to meet with adversaries, dictators, allies, and partners alike in the pursuit of peace, seeing war as a last resort. The truth is, as we head towards our decision as a country in November, the same cannot be said about Kamala Harris. In fact, the opposite is true, and we're living through this reality today as this administration has us facing multiple wars on multiple fronts and regions around the world, and closer to the brink of nuclear war than we ever have been before. This is one of the main reasons why I'm committed to doing all that I can to send President Trump back to the White House, where he can once again serve us as our commander-in-chief.
Real quick about The Office, you know, that was a reality show that obviously is early 2000s. Reality has changed so much.
Oh, it's completely different now.
Completely different. And we actually have a reality star who's running for president. You have a plan for Donald Trump, though, what America should do.
Well, first of all, I can't get enough of him. I started off thinking it was quite funny, and then it got a bit serious. And now I don't know whether to want him to get in for the fun of it or not. Yeah. I mean, I can say that I don't live here, so sorry about that, but I think it would be... But I love him. I just want to see a channel 24/7, just him talking, because it's amazing.
It is amazing.
I love it. He doesn't mean to be funny. That's the beauty of it. But I think, what if we just told him he got in?
Okay.
And...
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So he gets up every day, right, and he does a little address, and we go, yes, brilliant, I'm the president, and they're all extras.
Right.
They're all extras. And he just never knows. He was never president.
And we're filming it and watching it.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be amazing.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
I think he'd be up for it.
I bet he would.
Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't even have to tell him, right? You would just say...
No, not yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe a year in, you'd say, here's the thing, it's been fake, but the ratings are huge. And he'd go, very good, I'll keep doing it, I'll keep doing it.
They're supposedly due somewhere.
You wake up in a cave after an alien abduction. Why did they dump me in the cave after giving me the finger? Why not at least put me in the front garden? So they abduct me, stick their finger up my arse, right? Do tests, and then they go dump him in a fucking cave. No, take him all the way home after that. Who are these aliens? Mate, here's the thing, they're going, right now we're going to put you back on Earth, right? And I go, oh mate, you just stuck your big green finger up my arse. Take me to fucking Hampstead. You dirty bastard. Fucking hell.
I just don't...
Wake up in a cave after an alien abduction. You are with Gunnar and Andy, 2 dogs. You now are covered in a lot of fur. Why? Was that what? Because of some sort of alien experiment? So I'm furry, like a bubble snowman. Would you still wear clothes or just start walking around furry? I'd start walking around furry. Is it completely covered? Is everything covered? Do I look like a... Can't I wear pants, though? Just anyway, can't I wear... So I don't worry about clothes, just the pants, or a little... Yeah. I go and Jane goes, you're naked. I go, yeah, but Oh yeah, and covered in fur. Yes, that's the main one, isn't it? I'm covered in fur. What happened? Abducted by an alien. What did they do? Shove their finger up my ass. Where have you been? Things just coming into my head, and I'm just rambling like a lunatic. There's something like that. Google it and tell me.